Hey guys, Fire here, bringing you another game review. This time we're checking out Trail Out. This game is developed by Good Boys, published by Critivo. I hope I'm saying that right. It is currently available in the Xbox Store for a price starting at $30. This is a racing style game that it's all single player. There's no online multiplayer, so get that right off the bat. And I will say, I've not beat the entire game. I've played a few hours of the game, but I feel like I've played enough to share my thoughts and opinions with you guys. So let's dive into the game. Basically, you play as a character called Mikhail. I don't know exactly how to say his name. And you're trying to climb up this blacklist to defeat all these racers who you don't like for whatever reason, and I don't want to spoil the story, because this game actually has a story. It's interesting, it's quirky, it's comical, and it's kind of fun. But the way the game works is it gives you a couple different modes. There's career mode, there's for free race, there's roulette, and then this next opponent, it's part of career, but it just tells you how close you are to being able to face off against your next opponent. So let's quickly glance over some of these other modes real quick. So for free race, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can play any of the different types of races and stuff, which there's a good variety of different races within the game, which is pretty cool to have. And I hope to see them add more, but for the price of $30, this is a good variety, and the courses are very well designed and well maintained. Additionally, you'll unlock a little bit into the story roulette mode, where you get to play and have your chance to basically risk some money to try to win more money, and depending on which one you do, there's kind of a difficult variant, and the Joker Trap option on the right here adds kind of just like a randomness to the game. It's got a cool roulette wheel, and it kind of picks what kind of cars and things you have to play along the way. The career mode, it dives across the full storyline system. As you do races, you'll unlock different areas based on getting medals, and you need fans to be able to hit the next milestones to then fight the next person on the blacklist to ultimately climb the blacklist. So I'm going to dive into a race here real quick, that way you guys can see some of the gameplay while I continue talking about the game. Now, right off the bat, this game has some of the coolest car creation stuff that I've seen in a game in a very long time. You kind of are in a junkyard. You get to build your basically junkyard cars and create them. It's got kind of this excavator that tosses them around, or when you sell cars, they get crunched up. It's really cool. Now, as far as the gameplay itself, the controls are pretty good, but the steering can be a little clunky. It's more meant to be like arcade style versus more realistic. And I honestly wish there was some options to add maybe like realistic driving within the game, because then I think it would just add just a little extra oomph to how the game is. I haven't been able to find a way to do that, but it's still a really fun and enjoyable game. You'll have opportunities to eliminate opponents during races. You'll have different chances to do all kinds of courses, these figure eight courses being some of my favorite. The game also features distance races. You'll have things like Demolition Derby, and then all kinds of weird stuff in between, which is pretty cool. There's even a mini game within the game where you drive around your car and you basically attack and run over infected people and bosses and stuff. It's pretty hilarious, the content that they've added within the game, and it's kind of neat to see how the story progresses along the way while you're playing. I think it's some of the most fun I've had in a racing game in a long time, and considering we don't have too many racing games out there that offer destruction, it's definitely a nice take on being able to have that kind of stuff going on. I feel like it's been quite a while since we've had a quote-unquote gem of a racing game on Xbox that has any type of real destruction. You know, the dirt games are some of the ones that kind of come to mind when I think of racing games that have a little bit of that here. But this game definitely has inspiration, in my opinion, from games like Flat Out, Ultimate Carnage, and, you know, some of the other kind of destruction demo derby racing games. It's really fun and really enjoyable all along the way. It can also be frustrating at times, because you need to make sure you're constantly upgrading and enhancing your cars. But what's cool is the game has these cool, like, even social effects. You get challenges that you can do along races, you'll have chances to build up your fans, who will then provide money to you through sponsorships, and you'll even get opportunities to kind of do a weird little like live feed cam to kind of just draw their attention, which is funny, but it doesn't add too much content to the game. It's more just that comical humor that the game's trying to add into itself, which is pretty neat. I love the story mode in this game, and I think it's a really big, it's a blast, and it's a ton of fun all along the way. Unfortunately, it looks like I'm getting my butt kicked here. We were doing pretty good, but again, as I always say, it's hard to play games and talk and completely focus, but it's a really big blast. There's not really any big detractors for the game for me. You know, the lack of online multiplayer definitely feels like a miss, and I hope maybe it's something they add in the future to the game. And, you know, just a little bit of how the cars handle, but, you know, that just maybe me not being as big of a fan of that style, really, but it's, you know, it's nothing that takes away from anything. What's cool is after you finish races, you'll have opportunities to check your challenges. Click on to donations, where people who just wanted to donate money to see you succeed. It's kind of cool, kind of comical, and it really adds just a little bit of funniness to the game. I do want to show you guys real quick what happens when you sell a car, because it's absolutely hilarious. But yeah, outside of that, guys, let me know what you guys think of the game in my review down below in the comments. If you have any additional questions, I'd love to hear what you think down below. Outside of that, thank you for checking out my channel. I hope you have a great rest of your day. You know, if there's a racing game that you would compare this to, let me know which one you think it resembles down in the comments. And let me know what your favorite racing game is of all time. Outside of that, I hope to see you again soon.